I'm gonna be going on a book buying ban, and here's the reason. I predict I have more unread books on my bookshelves than I do have read books. I'm a little embarrassed by it, so I thought I should count and see the actual number of how many books I have and how many are unread, and then from there create some parameters for how I'm going to go into the next month of my book buying ban. Now, the last time I counted all my books to figure out how many unread books I have was in a short form video a couple months ago, and I have acquired a lot more books since then. How many books on my bookshelf have I actually read? I have 24 read books on my shelf and 34 unread books. So I thought I'd give it a recount and we're gonna see what we're working with here. Okay, the votes are in. Surprisingly, I own exactly 80 books, which makes things easy, and I have 37 unread books. At least it's not 50%, okay guys? A win is a win. It's not 50%. I totally honestly thought it would be more than 50%. Anyways, for this week, I want to pick up 2 books from my physical shelves to hopefully get into the groove of reading the physical books that I already own and not going out and purchasing them. I feel like I'm not a book collector in any means. I just prefer reading Kindle books and audiobooks over physical books because I feel like my eyes really strain when I read because I don't wear my reading glasses, which is stupid. But anyways, I do prefer to read on my Kindle most of all, and I just collect the books if I think I'm gonna like them, and then I don't read them. I read my Kindle. So it's a little like a catch-22. I also do a lot of shopping for specific books for specific videos, like my Throne of Glass video. I don't know if I would have just bought the first Throne of Glass book without having a plan for it. But for the majority of the books on my shelves, I just read the synopsis, fell in love, and bought it immediately, and then never read it. So I hope to get through 5 books this month of my physical TBR and not purchase any more books. This book buying ban isn't gonna be like 100% serious, can't buy any books, yada yada yada. But I am just trying to like take a break from spending and start actually taking the time to go through my physical shelves and see if I actually like the books on my shelves. Because if I don't want to sit here with a book I hate on my shelf, I guess. I don't know. That's my reasoning. But anyways, we're gonna pick up If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. I recently rewatched Haley and Sarah and Destiny all go on like a vlogging trip together. It was super cute, super fun. They swapped their 5-star reads. And Haley read this one, and Sarah and Destiny also read this one and rated it super high. So I was like, wait, the 3 booktuber girlies like this book, I gotta read it. It's been on my shelf for a while. I thrifted it maybe a few months back and I've been meaning to read it, but finally this is my excuse to pick it up. I'm so excited. Let me quickly read the back for you guys. If he had been with me, everything would have been different. Autumn and Finn used to be inseparable, but then something changed, or they changed. Autumn has her boyfriend Jamie and her close-knit group of friends. Finn has become that boy at school, the one everyone wants to be around. That still doesn't stop the way Autumn feels every time she and Finn cross paths, and the growing nagging thought that maybe things could have been different, maybe they should be together. As time passes, Autumn realizes she might not get another chance to make things right before it's too late. I hear that this is very angsty teen vibes, and I can totally see I'm in the cover. And I also hear that people like sob cry at the end. I don't know if angsty teen and sob cry at the end correlate in my mind, but we're gonna run with it and we're gonna see how we like this book. So wish me luck on my journey. I will update you guys whenever the time comes, I guess. I'm gonna hop into this book and we're gonna see how it goes. I'm praying it's not too angsty to the point where it's cringy, but we're gonna ride it out, I guess. It's a little cold in here, guys. Got these for Christmas. Okay, wait, can you see me? Oh crap, okay, I'm really disoriented. I got these reading goggles so I can read with good posture. It does in fact give me a headache and motion sickness, but I'm in love with these. They're so silly and so fun. Anyways, to what we're really looking for the juice and the drama about me reading. That's why you're here, I'm assuming. It is 9:04 p.m. and I am on page 175. This book is so stupid and so silly. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a little annoyed with the characters now because I feel like they are too old to be acting this way. Like, honey, you're what, 16? And you're still acting like a freaking weirdo? I don't know. It is like extremely high school coded and very, very silly and stupid. It's like a high schooler wrote normal people from their perspective. That's what this book would be like. I feel like the themes are very similar to normal people of like, we like each other, but we can't tell each other we like each other, and we can't tell other people we kind of like each other, and we're also dating other people, but we like each other. Very that. But this one's definitely like 10 times more juvenile than normal people was. But I guess I do enjoy the theme of like yearning. I guess that's the theme I'm looking for. I don't know. Apparently, like, everyone cries at the end and it's like some big tragedy, but I don't really know what's gonna happen because the book starts off with a car crash and I'm like, okay, I know the tragedy, like, boo-hoo. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But the more I read the book, the less I like Autumn and the more I like Finn. But in the beginning, I didn't really like Finn all that much, so I don't know. I don't know. I do have like a pounding headache, so I'm going to take an Advil for sure, and then I'm gonna keep reading. I really want to get like a good chunk of the way through tonight. I think I have a good hour until Betty Bye, so we're good to go, guys. But I think I'm enjoying it so far. You know, sometimes I get a headache and I think, oh man, this Advil is doing so much for me. And it's less of the Advil and more of just I'm so extremely dehydrated that the 2 sips of water I used to swallow the Advil was probably more helpful than the Advil. I don't know, a girl can dream, I guess. I don't know. I also just did a fresh coat of paint on my nails. I can't really tell if it's giving like beachy summer 2000s Addison Rae album cover vibes or if it's giving like Simply Nailogical, when everyone was like, oh my gosh, your nails are yellow, like you're gonna get cancer. But I think they're cute. Now, I don't normally like vlogging in here because it's usually a disaster and the lighting's horrible, but welcome to my bedroom. This is where we're gonna be reading this evening. Hey, it's gotta be slightly better. Howdy. I just got home from work and I am on page 272 of If You Had Been With Me. Okay, let's talk about it. Cute, that's cute. Things are going... Let's just say I was absolutely raging at work to the point where I literally had to whip out my phone and film my facial expressions and my reactions because that's how much this book was pissing me off. It is so high school. You've just gotta read it to know. For now close to 300 pages, just totally in denial about what love is and what it means, and I'm just like, girl, we know who you're supposed to end up with. We know. So don't go pulling this, oh my gosh, we're gonna get married. Babe, stop. Don't marry this man from high school. Don't do it. I don't think this is a spoiler, but her friend is also pregnant. It's just so high school. And I don't know what else to say. The one thing I'm enjoying about this book is the mothers, Finney's mom and Autumn's mom, who are besties and live right next door to each other. Absolutely love that vibe. And I want to hear more from their perspectives because they seem like very friendly, very awesome, very epic ladies. Ladies with gentle hands. I have just like a little over 100 pages left of this and I'm feeling excited and ready to finish it. Okay, also, he's literally gonna cheat on you and I just know it and I can feel it coming and he's gonna cheat on you and it's, he's gonna cheat on you and I can't. The fact that she doesn't see it is really frustrating me. Guys, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. I can't keep reading this. I can't. Guys, I think I know what I'm about to read. Yes. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I knew it. She should have seen it coming. I freaking knew it. This mofo, I swear. That's not even funny. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's awful. That's so bad. That's actually so horrible. Yeah, Bye. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow, the flash is on. They got ice cream together and I'm crying about it. I just finished chapter 61. This is the slowest burn I've been waiting for. Ugh. Okay, let's turn the flash on. Literally 8 pages, I think. 380. 9 pages. Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't be alarmed, I am in fact wearing a face mask, if you couldn't tell already. Long story short is last night I finished If He Had Been With Me. Of course, you saw that in the last clip. But then I was like, what book should I read? And then I was like, okay, well, let me look at my bookshelf. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I have The Glass Castle on my bookshelf. I didn't even know this. Anyways, my friend has been begging me to read The Glass Castle for the last little while. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna call her, ask her if I should read it, tell her I'm gonna read it. And then we ended up staying on the phone for 2 hours. So now I'm here with a face mask about to read The Glass Castle. This is falling off my face as I keep speaking, so I'm gonna shut up and probably take this off and then start reading. Good morning. It is freaking close to 10 a.m. It's my day off, so I'm kind of thriving. Anyways, just woke up. Last night I got to page 38. This book doesn't really have chapters. It's just like section 1 was like 3 pages and section 2 is like 150. So I don't really love that in a book because I don't really know when to stop. Obviously there's like good page breaks or whatever, but I'm still like, I don't know. I'm a chapter lover. What can I say? The like 4th snowfall we've had in the last week and it's actually genuinely messing with me. Like, can you just lay off a little bit? I want summer, I want spring, I want lovely weather. I don't want another snowfall. I don't know if I'm getting sick, but my tummy also hurts this morning. Either way, The Glass Castle. I'm gonna read the back for you. It says, The Glass Castle is a remarkable memoir of resilience and redemption. This is above my reading level. And a revelatory look into a family at once deeply dysfunctional and uniquely vibrant. The Walls children learned to take care of themselves. They fed, clothed, and protected one another, and eventually found their way to New York. Their parents followed them, choosing to be homeless even as their children prospered. The Glass Castle is truly astonishing, a memoir permeated by the intense love of a peculiar but loyal family. I honestly had no idea this was a memoir when I first picked it up and after chatting with my friend about it. But so far in the book, we've been introduced to the whole family and they are just picking up from where they live and just running from who knows what. I think it's debt collectors, but they're constantly on the move, moving from town to town, city to city, and they're very poor, and let's just say the parents are not parenting, and it's kind of like a dangerous environment for a child, but overall very engaging to read. I feel like despite the author like having the option to swing it as like, you know, a sob story, she's really telling it from the perspective of her as a child living through it, which sort of puts like a happy and adolescent spin on things and does make it more lively than it is sad and depressing. I'm feeling so tired, so I think I'm just gonna lay down and continue reading. The font on this is like minuscule, so it is a little harder for me to read, so I'm kind of doing sprints, not marathons. We're gonna see how it goes. Sorry, the bangs weren't banging, but now they're banging, don't worry. Anyways, up until now, I'm on page 38. We just found out her mom is pregnant again, and they are moving to San Francisco. Good job. Mid-walk, feeling good. Things are getting a little crazy, and I'm embarrassed to vlog in public, but it's okay. Porter. I'm not really sure how far I am. All I know is they have left Pennsylvania and they're on the road again. Guys, I am almost done the book. I'm on page 2:22. I got a lot of reading done yesterday, and also I picked it up bright and early this morning. For some reason, my body was like, hello, at 7:30 this morning. So I got up, was productive, and I hopped into the book, and it was like really great and fun and awesome. And I think it's really hard for me to talk about non-fiction books because this is a memoir. This is her life. I feel like I cannot judge and rate someone's life, but for this book I'm just gonna say I recommend you to read it. It gives a lot of perspective into what other people's lives can look like. When hardships come around, all you can do is just like persevere and get through them, and I think that's what this book is all about, is just like persevering and trying your best to just stay positive and look to the future and look for hope in that. And I just think like that's such a great message to, you know, walk away from a book with, is to know that like things will get better and you're doing a good job right now and don't worry about it. And I just think like Jeanette's story was like so not only enticing but just like so wrapped up in emotion that it's just such an amazing read and a great perspective into what people's lives can look like. I'm so happy the book started with Jeanette being in a good place and running into her mother as an adult, and knowing that like through all this turmoil, like she made it through and she was successful, and I'm just like super proud of her for that. Like the main thing I feel is like I feel proud. I feel like she did it, you know, she overcame all this stuff and now she's making it in New York City, and I'm just like, this is great. I want to keep reading because we're at the point she's starting to grow up and realize that she can write her own story and she can lead her way through her life as she chooses, which I think is also a really great message to take away from this. Is at the end of the day, you're in control and you can change if you want to, and I think that's just beautiful. Anyways, I am loving this book. I'm so excited to finish it. TLDR, this book is great. Anyways, I'm gonna hop into this, finish it up, and I'll see you guys in review time. Just a petit peu tears as I round off the end of this. I picked up the audiobook and the author Jeanette actually narrates it, so I thought that was really great, and it was lovely hearing her voice as she narrated all of that. It was really great. A little emotional, but I have lots to think about. Okay, let's do some final thoughts on the 2 books I read this week from my physical shelf. First things first, we're gonna jump into If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. I feel like this book was teetering the line of like really good or really bad, but I think I'm leaning really good. I thought the angst was really silly and really fun, and I had a good time reading it. It was good vibes. I didn't necessarily love the ending, but I didn't hate it either, and I didn't like cry a ton at it either. But I would say this is a good book. It's just so juvenile, it's a little harder to read. So overall, I'm going to be rating If He Had Been With Me a 3.5 stars. It's definitely not a 4-star read for me, but it is a good book, and I feel like it was so easy to read that I would recommend it to someone who's looking for a more angsty vibe to add to their collection. And then next up we have The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. This book was really good, and this is like the first time I've read technically a non-fiction, like it's a memoir about her life, on my channel. And I think from this point on I'm not going to be giving star ratings to non-fiction books because it just doesn't really feel fair to be like, oh man, your life story is only a 4 out of 5. I would feel horrible for saying something like that. So I'm just gonna stick with it and say this was a great book. Highly recommend this one, and lightly recommend this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do whatever you need to do. It really helps me out. And additionally, all my socials are linked below, along with my Substack if you want to check it out. I post here every Sunday, so if you want to follow along for my journey on BookTube, I'm having such a fun time. Got lots of videos planned, so if you want to check them out, hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And with all that being said, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!